Good evening again on Sunday night, and I was all set to say welcome to week 6, and I realize it's already week 7. And this course sometimes doesn't seem like it can last long enough for me. And I would really like to thank everybody for really carrying the ball last week on the discussions. You guys did, as usual, a really great job. A lot of you got into it. There were charts, there were graphs, there were arguments on each side for the components of what a player is worth. It's a real hot topic, and I really like the way people kept their eyes on the business factors, as well as letting a little bit of our sports fandom creep in. It's hard not to, but I think it's such an interesting topic because it drives so much of what goes on, and we'll see more and more, and we're going to be in that interesting time leading up to things like drafts. Playoffs tend to inflame passions about how good is somebody. It's just an amazing time, I think, in sports. The money we're talking about seems astronomical, but the market will bear it. Fans will pay it. TV will pay it. I'm actually going to be adding some material into next week's final week unit. We're going to talk a little bit more about college sports, about where the NCAA gets its money and how things go on. So I think you're going to find it very interesting in the last 2 weeks. This week's important because I think a lot of people may go, oh no, not again, because just about every sport economics course, sport management course, anything you've ever seen like that does talk about Title IX. But I do think we should spend time on Title IX and what it's meant to sport, and how has it changed the picture. How has it changed things? Title IX now is, it's about 40 years since it's been in effect, and things have changed drastically. Women's sports in particular were affected by it. And just remember, when you look into it, Title IX is a law that actually, we hear it mostly in terms of sports, but it had to do with everything that way education was funded, and basically on terms of discrimination and things like that. If a college and university accepted federal money, it has to abide by all sorts of conditions, non-discriminatory conditions. So we talk about it in this course in terms of athletics, but it extends to a lot of things beyond sport. This week, I think you will find some interesting stuff if you go outside. Just let the links follow you. You follow the links, take you to some places you may not have thought of. I frankly, living here in Connecticut, we get exposed to it, whether you like it or not. You hear all about University of Connecticut women's basketball. I was surprised, actually, with what they just accomplished in their 11th national championship and all that kind of stuff, that we actually didn't hear more about Title IX and more about the emphasis on women's sports and how it's affected university athletic departments. I thought it would have been a great time to have that discussion, and I frankly was a little bit surprised, but maybe people are just a little bit bored by it. So very important stuff, and I really urge you to take a look at it. Also this week, I've given you a preview of what the final exercise will be. So all the instructions about what I want you to do for a final exam piece is right there in Unit 7, so you can start reading it now, start getting your background information together, start digging through what you need to do, and get that ready, and then be able to do it in week 8. Also, too, I just want to thank everybody. I kind of snuck up on everybody and threw in that extra article in the discussion board about the article about Shane Battier. And I've seen that saw it a long time ago, but it really had an impact on me when I read it, and I thought it was really worth including in the course. And I want to thank everybody who did comment on it. You guys did a great job with it. So I probably could have done a little bit better job of keeping up with everything. I think I got everybody's midterms graded on time. It was quite a week for me. I'm still wearing my coach's jacket from this afternoon. We've ended up having to play 5 matches in 7 days, and as the weather has absolutely played havoc with college sports schedules here in the Northeast. So a lot of teams and a lot of different sports are struggling to catch up, and that's kind of thrown a monkey wrench into a lot of plans. So I really apologize if I didn't keep up as much as I'd like to, but thank you guys, as I said earlier, for carrying the ball and doing a great job, and I really appreciate what's going on. So that's really the message this week: the importance of the work on Title IX, the great work you did in the discussion on the worth of players, and make sure you start looking this week, looking ahead. You've got those final exam instructions. Need you to start looking at them now so you start getting the work done, so next week is not a rush job, because I know you've probably got a million other things to do, especially if you have another course or two. Okay, so thank everyone. I appreciate everything you've done. As I've said before, if you do have any questions, please contact me, as some of you have. I really try to get back to you right away, and good luck. We'll go from there. Okay, thanks very much.